People, we're back. Gjo reacting to craziness once again, more creepy stuff. And today we're not watching people getting cheated on. Today we're watching disturbing internet horrors found on the internet right now. Volume 46, damn near volume 100 if you ask me, because we watch all this crazy shit. People that's watching, I'm not gonna make a long intro. Show some love for the video. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into it. You feel me?
On November 15, 2024, officers responded to a fire alarm at a fraternity house on North Dubuque Street in Iowa City, expecting what they'd been told was just a routine initiation step. What they found instead was something none of them had been prepared for.
They all look suspicious. It's kind of weird, but okay. And it looks like a bathroom. I might be wrong. Okay, you're naked in the basement. That's kind of weird. Some frat shit.
What's going on? Who's in charge?
Who's in
Okay,
charge?
127. I'll take a second here.
Sam Hell's.
Yeah, I'll definitely need 133 here.
This is the alarm here.
All right, who's in charge?
Look at his face. He's in charge. You can tell. He knows who's in charge.
Looks like we have.
He definitely knows who's in
Quite a bit of
charge.
hazing.
Or he could be in charge.
So I'm gonna ask again, who's in charge?
We can talk upstairs.
No, we're gonna talk right here. Who's in charge?
A couple of us are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well we need to find someone who's in charge, because this is ridiculous. Hey, this stops here, guys.
What the hell are they
This is
doing?
the police department.
Is
This
that
stops
shit?
here.
And mayo?
Who's in charge?
And then one dude is blindfolded?
In the basement of the house, standing in near darkness, were 56 young men. Most of them were shirtless and were barefoot. They wore blindfolds and they were standing completely still, not speaking, not moving, covered in what appeared to be ketchup and mustard and something that smelled like alcohol. The officers moved through the room, asking who was in charge and whether anyone needed help. The pledges said nothing. They simply stood there, side by side, while a couple of people said they didn't know who was in charge until they encountered a strange man in a hoodie, who seems to be the one leading the raid.
How about we start cleaning this up? Everyone take their blindfolds off.
What's going on?
Like an A, man.
It's a big ass speaker in
So
there.
what's going on in here? You don't know? You're just blocking the door so we can't see? So how does nobody live here then? Just hanging out?
You tell me.
No, you tell me.
I don't know.
You go to University of Iowa?
I do.
He definitely does. He's been screaming.
Business.
Business? What's your name?
He's been screaming at them and shit.
Sorry, what's your name?
His voice is out.
Jose.
Jose? Jose, what's your last name?
Why?
Go on. Go and talk.
I don't want to tell you that. I don't want to tell you that.
Okay. How old are you?
21. Want to see my ID?
Yeah, you got an idea or anything to prove?
Yeah, he's the ringleader. No voice. Craziness.
I think it's fake. I think it's fake.
You think it's fake? You think it's fake or you know it's fake? There's two different things there. Campus 142, one by DL, number, when you're ready.
It's definitely not Jose.
I go by Jose.
349 Adam Paul 5452. From the way he's talking, it sounds like he strained his voice from shouting or directing them.
Exactly.
He was relaxed in a way that officers found difficult to work around, and by the time the scene was fully documented, they had noted his interference in their reports.
All right, Jose, can you step over here?
Why?
Because I need to talk to these people in here. I need you to step over here.
I'll step inside.
Whatever. Is anyone in here that needs medical attention? Is anyone here that is against their will? Is there anyone here who is not participating in this? I.e. a leader?
Is there anyone with any sort of physical injury?
It seems harmless,
Joseph Gaia
but
was arrested the following day on a charge of interference with official acts. He was the only person who faced criminal consequences. However, the charge was dropped in November of 2025.
Did you pull these guys out?
No, I went to go talk to those guys, and then they started coming out.
Why did we come out?
So I said that. I said they should come out.
You said it?
I did.
So you're in charge?
Not
Even
in
though you said
charge.
you're not in charge.
Not in charge. I said they should
Okay.
go to their beds.
And that's where they sleep?
They're new live-ins for the next semester in the spring.
For more than a year, the incident remained largely local news. As of March 2026, the Alpha Delta Phi chapter at the University of Iowa remains suspended. The university provides no support to the organization, and it is barred from using campus facilities, participating in recruitment events, or operating as a recognized student group. A university spokesperson confirmed as much in February of that year. But what the university cannot as easily control is what happens off campus. The chapter's Instagram account has remained active throughout the suspension, posting a house tour in August of 2025. In the house tour, the basement room where the 56 pledges once stood was labeled without comment as storage.
Alright, so now I'm going to take you down to the basement. First, I'm going to show you our storage room. A lot of the guys like to keep their golf bags in here, as well as their hockey bags. Our frat has a hockey team in a league called Lug, where we play against all the other fraternities in hockey games. And we're actually 3-time reigning champ.
No additional criminal charges have been filed. No new disciplinary actions have been announced. The chapter simply waits, in whatever form it currently takes, for a date that is still years away. What happened on November 15th, 2024 was not a secret. The people inside that house knew what they were doing, and the people standing in the basement had agreed, in whatever way young men agreed to these things, to be there. No one reported being injured, and the university offered counseling to affected students, and the records show no evidence of lasting physical harm. Many people have spoken out about the hazing rituals taking place and how they're ruining these kids' lives, and some are even saying the police could have handled the situation better. But there is something about the footage, the silence of it, the stillness of all those young men standing in a row, that stays with you after you've seen it. Not because of what happened, exactly, but because of how ordinary it seemed to everyone involved, as though it were simply the way things were done, and always had been, and would be again. That is, perhaps, the part that takes the longest to make sense of.
that right there.
On February 14th,
That dude was pretty smart. I ain't gonna front. The leader was smart. That's all I gotta pretty much tell you. The leader was smart. He inhaled the smoke, you know what I'm saying, to make it seem like his voice is fucked up from smoking. And he was playing it cool, and nobody folded. But on the realness, though, these college humiliation rituals, again, these fraternities, it's outlandish. I seen the movie Burning Sand. The black kids were getting their ass kicked every day just to get cheeks from college girls. It's not that deep, dogs. Just go to school to learn, you know what I'm saying? If it's, bro, just holler at a shorty, and if she says no, she says, get another one. You should probably, but joining these fucking Illuminati fraternities is not going to get you nowhere because you don't even talk to them years after you graduate. But you know what I'm saying? They didn't seem, I don't know what was going on though. They probably was getting shit thrown on them and getting screamed at. It didn't seem like they was getting their ass whipped or nothing. And they was blindfolded. The blindfolded one was crazy. The kid I was blindfolded. Ultimately though, it wasn't that bad, I ain't gonna front. But it's stupid to join them shits if you're just doing that shit for all the wrong reasons.
To the Tamaqua Tunnel in Pennsylvania, hoping to get a closer look at one of the region's most beloved steam locomotives as it passed through. The February 14th run was the first of the 2026 season, departing from Reading with 14 passenger cars and making its way toward Jim Thorpe through Berks, Schuylkill, and Carbon counties. Dozens of people line up along the tracks on days like this one, cameras ready, waiting for the train to pass, and most of them are careful to stay well outside the tunnel entrance. However, one photographer took it too far for a few shots, and this is where things went very wrong.
What the hell? This looked like some shit. Oh, yeah, okay, that's not. Oh, that's pretty fucked up. This dude's fucked up. You get off the. Why are you still on the tracks though? I don't get. Why are you on the tracks? Dogs, run on the side. You're on the tracks. Yeah, if that dude would have kept running on those tracks and there was no place to where you can run on the side, he would have been fucked up. You feel me?
The train was traveling at approximately 20 miles per hour. Even at that speed, a steam locomotive of that size requires a considerable distance to stop, and in the darkness of an active tunnel, with limited sight lines and nowhere to go, 20 miles per hour is more than enough. However, the train did not stop. It continued through the tunnel and on toward its destination, arriving without further incident. The trespasser was arrested shortly afterward by R&N Railroad Police, and while the whole sequence had unfolded in a matter of seconds, the train continued on toward its destination without damage, and fortunately, no one had been seriously hurt. As of March 2026, the individual has not been publicly identified, which is standard for a misdemeanor trespass case. The railroad issued no formal statement, and future Iron Horse rambles remain scheduled, and the excursions continue to run. The tunnel is still there, the train still runs through it, and the shot that person was trying to get, whatever it would have looked like, was never taken. There is something worth sitting with in that. Not the danger of it, exactly, which is obvious enough, but the quieter question underneath. What it means to want something so badly that you walk into a dark tunnel and wait alone for a 70-ton locomotive to come around the bend. No photograph is worth a life. That much, at least, is not complicated. On February 19, 2026, a Gasco tanker truck made its way along Ruta 5 Norte in Santiago, Chile, carrying liquefied petroleum gas from a terminal in Quintero toward a distribution plant in Maipú, a route the driver had traveled many times before, and one that, on any ordinary morning, would have taken a couple of hours and drawn no attention at all. The people on that road had no particular reason to think about the truck as it passed among them. It was just part of the traffic. But what happened next lasted only a few seconds, and it changed everything.
What the hell's going on? A big ass cloud storm? No, that's pretty fucked up though. Imagine you driving on like the freeway or like expressway or whatever the case may be, and all this shit start taking place. Oh, okay, that's pretty fucked up.
The fireball that followed was visible for kilometers, and the heat at its center exceeded 840 degrees Celsius. People on the road who had been outside their cars were caught in it directly, and the burns many of them suffered covered the majority of their bodies. Emergency teams arrived quickly, establishing a safety perimeter and working to cool what remained of the tank and release the residual gas before it could cause a second explosion. The highway was closed, and the area cordoned off as firefighters and medical teams worked through the morning. By the end of that day, 4 people were confirmed dead. Over the days and weeks that followed, that number kept rising, as those hospitalized with the most severe burns did not survive. By February 28th, the death toll had reached 13, including the truck driver himself, and 4 people were still in critical condition in hospital. Investigators from the public prosecutor's office began looking into the cause almost immediately, and the early evidence pointed toward excessive speed by the driver as the most likely factor. Gasco confirmed that the vehicle had all required certifications, and that the driver held valid permits for hazardous materials transport, and the company expressed its regret publicly while committing to support the families of victims directly without requiring them to waive any legal claims in exchange. The investigation continues, and no arrests have been announced. What the tragedy made plain, as it does every time something like this happens, is that rules written on paper and rules followed on the road are not always the same thing, and that when they diverge, the people who pay the price are rarely the ones responsible for the gap. 13 people left their homes that morning and did not come back. Most of them had no connection to the truck, no knowledge of what it was carrying, and no warning that anything was wrong until the cloud was already around them. That is the part that is most difficult to accept.
Craziness.
On February 17, 2026, dozens of skiers gathered near the Zerota chairlift in Valveni, just outside Courmayeur, expecting nothing more than a clear winter day beneath the peaks of Mont Blanc. The terrain above it is steeper and known to release snow from time to time, but the lift area itself had always been considered safe, and the people in the queue that morning had no particular reason to think otherwise. Nothing in that moment suggested that within seconds, the entire scene would change.
What the hell would happen? Oh shit. Damn, is it gonna reach the people on the bottom? They just standing there like it's all sweet. What the fuck is going on? Please tell me that's just
3, 2, 1, ready.
I'm so confused right now.
Okay.
Oh, I mean that's not too bad.
Fortunately,
Alright.
the dense core of the avalanche
Okay.
stopped higher on the mountain. Only the lighter powder cloud reached the lower slope. When the air began to clear, it became evident that no one had been buried and no serious injuries had occurred, though many were left shaken by how quickly a peaceful morning had turned into fear. Italian Alpine Rescue confirmed no casualties and no rescues were required, and the chairlift resumed normal operations shortly after. The incident came only 2 days after a separate and far more serious avalanche in the same valley, where a group of skiers on an off-piste route were caught in a full slide, which killed 2 skiers and seriously injured a third.
Damn.
As per Italian Alpine Rescue. The 2025 to 2026 Alpine winter had already been one of the most deadly on record, with forecasters and rescue services issuing warnings week after week as storm after storm loaded unstable snow onto weak layers across the region. However, experts believe the slide was likely triggered by natural instability in the snowpack. That recent heavy snowfall combined with strong winds had already raised the avalanche danger to level 4 out of 5, officially classified as high. Even without a human trigger, such conditions can produce sudden releases, especially on steeper faces above populated areas of a resort. If the main body of the avalanche had traveled further down the slope, the scene might have unfolded very differently.
No, I thought they were about to get fucked up. Like, I thought they was about to like die right there. But that was crazy though. I'm glad that was just some like fucking air. Cause I thought that shit was actually snow. People out there, that's been a video. Disturbing internet horrors found on the internet right now. Those clips was entertaining and it was some shit. You know what I'm saying? People that's watching, you know what I mean? Show me some love for the video. Thank you for watching other videos. Thank you for love for other videos. About to be out. Hold the best. Everybody, peace. 1.